Today, guys, I am excited to show you guys and review the new Corsair K100 Air. This thing is literally its name. It's 100 out of 100, and it feels like air. I mean, look how thin this thing is. I hope it does it justice. This thing is so thin. And I'm already a huge fan of low profile keyboards. I'm currently using the Logitech G915, which has been my go-to keyboard for a few years now. And as you can see, it is thin itself. It's got the thin keycaps, it's got the thin base, but it just got thinner. I didn't think it was possible, but they somehow were able to do it. Now, I've been using linear keys for the longest time, but now I'm moving on to these tactile switches. Now, to go ahead and cover the most important topic, the switches. They are Cherry MX tactile switches, and my God, do they feel great. I mean, the force feedback, the responsiveness is absolutely out of this world. And of course, you know, Corsair keyboards have always been extremely loud. And this is pretty up there as well, but it's not as loud as their other keyboards. This is probably one of the quieter mechanical keyboards Corsair makes. Now in the description, it does say ultra low profile, and they're not wrong. This thing is absolutely insane. Now, another amazing feature about this is you can upgrade this polling rate of the keyboard to 8,000 Hertz. Now, if you look right here, you'll see G1 through G4. These are the devices. These are the number of devices you can connect this keyboard to at one time. There was a Logitech keyboard. I can't remember the name of it. I was trying to use it to connect it to multiple devices. It was really struggling, and I never ended up getting it to work, and I had to return it. This actually does work. I've used it on multiple computers. You can actually use this on PlayStation 4 and 5. And if you guys are PlayStation gamers out there, you know a lot of keyboards do not work because their firmware's not upgraded, not updated, whatever the case is, and you're forced to go out and buy another keyboard. Finally, this is your all-in-one keyboard. I got a little excited about the picture, but I wasn't expecting much just because, again, I'm not really a Corsair fan. But this is going to be my go-to keyboard. If they end up making a TKL series where they remove the number pad, it will be even better, especially for mouse and keyboard gamers, so you have a lot more range of motion. But nonetheless, I'm going to thug through it because this thing is absolutely dreamy. Everything it says it does, it actually does. It actually works. It's not complicated. It actually has one of the easiest softwares. The IQ software is one of the easiest softwares to use to customize your RGB. And as you guys can see, this is just standard. I haven't even customized it yet. This is standard brightness. It's a standard pattern. And you see how seamlessly it works. Even with all the light shining at me, that's how bright the RGB is. Corsair has one of the best RGB peripherals out there. And this thing, you know, is worth every dollar. This thing comes in at a massive price point of $250. But again, the amount of things it can do for you guys that multitask out there, content creators, or just people who like to PC game and console game, you have an all-in-one keyboard, and this thing will do everything for you. Now, I was too excited to play with it. Let's go ahead and go over the features real quick. It does cover PC, Mac, Xbox One, Xbox One S, and of course, PlayStation 4 and 5. It does have Bluetooth, wireless capability using the dongle with it, as well as just hardcore plugging it in. And again, every feature works on this thing. It really does blow my mind that a lot of keyboard companies are still making keyboards that don't have wireless capability. It's really odd. For those of you guys that really love your switches, these are Cherry MX tactile switches. And this is really the first time I've actually used switches like this. I usually use linear. These things are amazing. The feedback, the feeling of it, it took me a little bit to adjust to because it does push back, but man, it's such a good feature. It's not squishy by any stretch of the imagination. This is the best keyboard I've ever laid hands on. And I'm not being exaggerative at all. If you see my review videos, I will slay the crap out of a company, but this thing here is gold. I mean, even the box is textured. That just screams quality. When you open the box, if it's got texture on it and it changes from picture to picture, quality. All right, let's go ahead and read some specs off that we haven't talked about yet. Of course, it's ultra thin. You guys have seen that. It's 17 millimeter profile of aluminum frame for stylish durability. And my gosh, it is definitely stylish and it's definitely durable. I mean, just touching the base, the aluminum on it, or aluminium, is it's got that cold feeling. It's so nice. It's so nice. And again, I haven't peeled the sticker off on it yet. I'm going to save that for a special occasion. But you know, the switch right here, the volume knob, flawless. You can scroll. It's not hard. It didn't get stuck. Don't spill anything on this keyboard though. And when we flip this bad boy over, of course, they have the great little design right there. There's the wireless adapter right now. I've been having it plugged in, charging it because I've been gaming on it for an extended period of time. I've literally probably put 100 hours in this thing. But speaking of charging, let's go into the battery life. So it does tell us that the battery life is up to 50 hours per key with RGB backlighting. Now with this thing lit up, you get about 50 hours of charge time. That's incredible. That's days on end of gaming without ever having to charge it. And I've had this thing for about a week now. And again, I just started charging it today. This thing is fresh off the charger. So that's amazing. And if you decide not to go with RGB, you just lazy, your cable breaks, you can get up to 200 hours with RGB off. I don't think I've ever had a keyboard with lifespan like that. The Logitech G915 was close, but this thing blows it out of the water. The wireless feature using the adapter and the Bluetooth is less than a millisecond, so there's no delay. It's instant reaction. So this keyboard has a built-in memory that can hold up to 50 different profiles. So you can set your RGB to different profiles, different games, to have sound effects. You can do so much. The weight of this keyboard is 1.66 pounds, which is basically nothing. You can balance this thing on 2 fingers, 3 fingers. Hopefully I don't drop this keyboard. I'm not even gonna attempt to do 2 fingers. But again, dude, I have never been so excited to upgrade my hardware in my entire life. And again, when I bought this keyboard, I just wanted to do a legit review for you guys out there, but I'm gonna keep this thing for myself and get some use out of it. This thing has quickly become my favorite keyboard. Very, very responsive, very sleek. I just love the divots and the keys. It's very minimum. It's not super, super deep like other keyboards. For example, if we whip out my streaming PC Corsair keyboard, which is not wireless, by the way. Again, guys, don't ever make a keyboard in 2022 and in the future that's not wireless, please. But anyway, I don't really like the big grooves. I don't like the big buttons. And again, this one's hella loud compared to the other one. So the new keyboard is way quieter. Of course, it's light years more expensive than this one is. The RGB is just as good. Now, one thing I am curious about, and an issue that I had with my Logitech, was keys breaking. Very curious if you can replace these keycaps should one break. I would imagine so. Logitech, not so much, but I would imagine Corsair would have that fix should something arise. But to be honest, I don't really see this thing breaking. Let's look at the keys real quick. If you push one side of the space bar, the other side doesn't move. It moves in unison. There's no looseness to it. Look at that. You don't see me push it on the right hand side and it forcing downward like a lot of other keyboards. Even my Logitech G915, when you push on it, it all goes down at the same time, but it puts a lot of force on it, which causes keycaps to break. Now, because that's not the issue, I mean, this couldn't be better engineered. And again, I just want to go ahead and throw it one more time. I'm not a Corsair fan, but this right here is a game changer. This changed the game for me. I'm very excited to see what else Corsair has up their sleeves. For the longest time, I just put Corsair in the back of my mind, but now they're gonna be the forefront of any gaming products that I need for myself, as well as reviews. If you guys are looking for a keyboard upgrade, make sure you check this one out. It does seem pricey, and it definitely is. It's one of the most expensive keyboards I've bought. But if I compare it again to the Logitech G915, which is roughly the same price depending on where you buy it from, $220 to $250, compared to the $250 this keyboard, this one just smashes the Logitech out of the water. And for the longest time, I gave that keyboard the crown for being king of keyboards. Corsair, message to you guys, keep killing it. You stepped it up big time in a big way. Very excited for this keyboard to continue using it. And I'm gonna give you guys a 6-month review video, so mark your calendars so you guys can understand the longevity, how this thing handles. Does the battery wear down? And if it does, what's the battery life realistically 6 months later? Do the keycaps break? Is it still firm? Does it have feedback? It's gonna be a lot of updates for you guys, so make sure you tune in for that.